Monday morning. We're going to break down this card. Let's get to it. We've got Arizona taking on Toronto to start the card, 51-52. Toronto laying a massive price, as you would expect them to. A Toronto team that's streaking right now, playing great hockey. Won, 6 games in a row now, following that thumping 6-0 to the Montreal Canadiens the other night. Really impressive, complete performance from the Leafs in that game. Total 6, shaded a little bit to the under. Arizona, believe it or not, playing 2 wins in a row. Don't put this team out. They're red hot. Get the fire hydrant out. Someone break up the Arizona Coyotes. They've won 2 games in a row against Montreal and Ottawa on the road. And you had to think the puck luck had to start bouncing for them a little bit. This is a team that's not very good. I understand that, but they're not 3-4 wins bad. I mean, they've been competitive. There have been games where they've had the better possession. There's been games where they've had the better scoring chances, the better high-quality scoring chances in games. They just haven't had W's to show for it. Maybe now you're starting to see the puck luck start to turn toward this Arizona team a little bit. And it just smells like if Toronto's a little bit flat following a huge win against Montreal the other night, it's a dangerous spot for them. It really, really is here going into this game. They're red hot. They're playing great. Freddie Anderson right now, it's hard to get a puck past this guy. He is absolutely locked in. He's in a zone right now. So as much as I think Toronto, it could be in a tough, they could look past Arizona a little bit. We saw Montreal not play very sharp against Arizona. Ottawa did not do that as well on Saturday afternoon. They didn't play a sharp, focused effort for 60 minutes against Arizona. If Toronto has that same kind of effort tonight, they could be in for a little bit of a battle here. And like I say, Arizona's now got a healthy Antti Raanta in net. He's better than any stiff they had in between the pipes before. And that certainly gives Arizona more than a puncher's chance now on a nightly basis, having Raanta back in there without a doubt. We've got 2 of our ice guys involved in this game, Arizona, Toronto. We're going to start with Alex. What are you looking at?
Well, I'm looking all the way at Toronto in this one. I mean, I'm not going to lay, anywhere higher than $2, but I'm looking at the puck line here in this game. Yeah, Arizona, they scored 8 goals in the last 2 games, but in the 6 games prior, they scored a combined total of 9 goals. So the offense, yeah, it's starting to get around, but it's not that much better. Antti Raanta, like I said, he's the best goalie they have. He's been in net for the last 6 games. He's allowed 3 or more goals in those 5 games. Last game, he allowed 2, ended up winning. You look at this Toronto team, they're on fire right now. They get Austin Matthews back. He picked up a pair of goals. Like I said, the big blowout win against Montreal. Toronto, they're only 4 points behind Tampa in the division. Of course, it's a little too early to start looking at, where teams are in the standings, but they know that Tampa Bay, Toronto is going to be the back and forth in that Atlantic probably the rest of the way. And you look at the numbers for Frederik Andersen against Arizona, 6-0-4. Never lost in regulation against the Coyotes with a 1.54 goals against, 943 save percentage. So I'm laying the goal and a half here with Toronto. I think they should be able to get a few goals early and be able to run away with this game.
Yeah, I mean, if Toronto had lost or was not on this win streak, I'd try to make a case for the Arizona side. But like I say, with teams on a win streak, I don't fade the streak while they're playing well. While they've won 6 in a row, I'm not that guy that says, okay, they're going to lose tonight. No, while they're streaking, I either bet on the team or I pass. And that's the spot here with the Leafs. Even though I'm concerned, it might be a little bit of a mini letdown after that Montreal game. Andrew McInnes, he's also got a bet on this Coyotes-Leafs game. Andrew, what you got?
Yeah, Ian, like you said, before we kind of got into Alex's talk about this game, we might as well just start up the division bets right now for the Arizona Coyotes. I mean, 2 games in a row. Wow. They're starting to impress us, are they? Jeez. Couple wins for the Coyotes. But actually, coming into this game, looking back just all the way back to that Habs game versus Arizona even. First of all, just completely embarrassing, obviously. No excuse for the Habs. It's really unacceptable to have that high scoring a game last Thursday and still blow it to this Coyotes team. But look, the over's looking at it's 6 right now, and I'm looking for the over. That game in Montreal versus Toronto on Saturday night, that was my SBR best bet with you guys. Ended up resulting in a push as the Habs couldn't get 1 goal to send that total over, so the Leafs ended up winning 6-0. But look, the fact is, Arizona has been able to put up some goals. They haven't been that crappy of a team overall. They just haven't really been able to finish games. And, a lot of analysts right now, a lot of people are saying that you have to realize how good Frederik Andersen actually has been for this Leafs team, guys. I mean, we all know the superpower they have. We all know the all-star, the young players they have. We know the lines they can run. We have to get some appreciation of Frederik Andersen. He does keep them in games quite a bit, but we see Alex going for the puck line with the Leafs, and I think he's on the right track there. I think the Leafs will kind of pummel this Arizona team, but I still can see the Coyotes putting in 1 or 2 goals. So I'm looking at a 5-2 kind of game tonight for the Leafs. I think tonight they're going to break out, and I just don't think the Arizona Coyotes can match the intensity one bit that this Leafs team can bring in. So overall, I'm on the total over 6 in the Coyotes versus Leafs game.
Coyotes Leafs over 6. Well, Toronto got a 6 spot the other night, so they might do most of the heavy lifting potentially tonight. Again, if we see Toronto clicking like they did offensively, and if they're into this game. Now, Dane has confused me a little bit because we always send each other a list of games here before the show, and I see Nashville, Winnipeg, Arizona, Winnipeg on his list. What is Winnipeg playing a split squad game tonight that I don't know?
Yeah,
about?
well, that's what happens when you send these at 2 a.m. Things start to kind of just run together. But actually,
I'm pretty sure he's involved in Arizona, Toronto. Exactly.
I'm involved in Arizona at some point tonight. Yes, maybe in 2 games, because in order for you to cash an Arizona ticket, you actually have to put them on 2 games instead of just 1 to give yourself an opportunity. And like you guys said, I mean, this is a team that's on a 2-game winning streak right now. So I guess we're excited about that. But it's not going to be. It's not a situation where I'm just, jumping up and down and view this team a little bit any differently than I did. You know how I feel about these 6 totals, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't work out. I mean, can I envision Toronto scoring 7 goals and making this a 7-1 game? Absolutely, I can. But from their standpoint, at least I have a relative confidence in the fact that they're going to play well defensively. I mean, you would think if Frederik Andersen has, played well against teams that are much better than Arizona, then he would certainly have an opportunity to play well against Arizona. And, look, he to me, I mean, even going back, with previous teams, he looks as confident as I've ever seen him play. In fact, one way that you can tell whether or not a goaltender is playing with confidence is how much they come out and challenge shooters. And the reason why that's a big deal is obviously if you don't feel confident in your game and you think you're going to give up rebounds or you're going to give up goals in that manner, you kind of stay in your net a little bit. But when you are focused and that your glove hand is working and your blocker's working and you don't feel beatable, you come out to challenge these guys knowing you're not going to get up any rebounds. And obviously if you're out of your net to challenge or break or cut down on angles, if you give up a rebound, it's almost a sure goal. But he's certainly playing as well as I've seen him this year. And overall, the Leafs have allowed just 8 goals in their last 6 games. So those are all factors that really give me confidence from the Leafs side. And now they face a team that, albeit has a propensity for putting a lot of shots on net, but they're 29th in the league in offense. So, from the Toronto standpoint, I think they're going to do the job for us. Yes, Austin Matthews is back, and I know we're excited about that. But I also know, even though he put up some numbers, you listen to Babcock play or Babcock at the end of the game do his presser, and he said he's not really 100% yet, and I think it's going to take him time. And I think that second game usually is the game where they take a little bit of a step back after they've been out for a while, which he was out for 4 games. So maybe he's a little sore, maybe he takes a little bit of a step back tonight. Oddly enough, the goal that they had the other night was the first time that the Nylander had assisted on one of his goals. So they are deep for sure, and there's no denying that. But I have to think with a road trip coming up to Florida that maybe their mind's looking ahead a little bit to getting on that plane and getting to some warm weather. So we're going to go under on this. There's some good trends to back this up. Arizona's 9-3-1 to the under after a straight up win. I know we had to go back a long time to find that. The under is also has cashed in 7 of their last 8 games. So they're definitely become an under team. And of course, they're in their Toronto's last 15 games against the Pacific, the under is 12-3 as well. So a little bit different brand of hockey that they play out there. And despite the fact that Arizona is not very good, I look at them statistically, and they're certainly one of the more physical teams in the league. So that to me spells an under. Again, I'm not sitting around waiting for two teams to hit 7 goals. I'm going to go under. You can find that at minus $1.06 at Matchbook.
All right, under 6 for Dana in the Arizona-Toronto game. It's funny, Anthony Duclair, funny story, healthy scratch majority of the season for the Arizona Coyotes, has a hat trick on Saturday. He's now second on the team in goals. How about that? He's a healthy scratch for as many games as he was. That's hilarious, but goes to show Arizona's had trouble offensively. Speaks to that 29th ranked offensive point that Dana Lane made about the Arizona Coyotes there. But Anthony Duclair steps back in the lineup, gets a hat trick the other day against Ottawa, and what do you know now? He's second in the team in scoring. So tells you how much they've had trouble. And he's right. I mean, shots are nice, but I want production. I mean, so many years I've bagged myself in NHL handicapping by looking at teams with a ton of shots and no goal production to show for it. And I would bet them and bet them over and say it's got to break. It's got to turn for them at some point. And it still would not. They still would have trouble finishing. And you just got to be careful. And shots don't always equate to offensive production. So just be aware of that when you're handicapping this sport for sure.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.